Yo, what is up, guys? RiceNoctowls here with our Week 2 game of the USL, the United Showdown League. We are starting off our Week 1 opponent. See, okay, this was the period, actually, when this league started. This was the period when I didn't have my computer. So for a while, I didn't battle. And in that time, my Week 1 opponent just disappeared. His name's Cody Cow. He never responded to anything for a couple weeks. So, I was actually given the forfeit win. So, starting off the season, we are 1-0 plus 3, so that's pretty nice. So moving forward, this is our team against Joltz. Joltz is the commissioner of the league. As far as I'm concerned, he's a very good battler. I don't really know, I've never battled him before, and I've never really seen him battle. So my roster, obviously, if you haven't seen the draft analysis, go ahead and check it out. I think I did a pretty good job on that. The squad is just a lot of fun stuff I've been wanting to use. I have Tapu Koko, TOXAPEX, Shaman, Chandelure, Registeel, Claydol, Mega Lopunny, Mew, Crawdon, Togetic, and Kecleon. Joltz squad, he has Magearna, Mandibuzz, Arcanine, Aerodactyl, Alomomola, Raichu, Venusaur, Mega Venusaur, Garchomp, Azelf, and Hitmonlee, and Crustle. Alright, so the first thing you see about his team is he does have a Magearna, which is terrifying. I have no switch into Magearna on my team. No reliable switch-in, and so I figured my best option was to go for an Assault Vest Chandelure. This Assault Vest Chandelure is meant to switch into its dual stabs as it does resist it. If you have Shadow Ball, that kind of sucks. It also is really good for switching into things like Mega Venusaur, because it can hit back with Psychic. This thing is very strong, even without a boosting item. Mesh Special Tech Modest, obviously, this thing is, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And so that's what this guy does. He has Fire Blast, just to hit things like Mandibuzz, like Magearna, like not Venusaur because obviously thick fat. He has Shadow Ball just in case I don't need to miss, and for a Zelf, and that's pretty much it. Psychic mostly for the Mega Venusaur, and Energy Ball so that the Alomomola can't just keep switching in. Enough speed, I believe, to outspeed. Ooh, max. I think it's max speed, or I think it's somewhat invested in Mega Venusaur, or max speed Crustle, one of the two. So it's got enough speed for something. Moving forward, I have Expert Belt Tapu Koko because it pretty much rips through his team. Nature's Madness, Brave Bird, Wild Charge, Hidden Power Ice. We are bringing a physical set this week. It's really good against his team. Obviously, Nature's Madness will just take anything. Alomomola obviously doesn't want to switch in. Whether it's physical or special, because it's a Tapu Koko. So, we have Nature's Madness and Brave Bird, so Mega Venusaur cannot switch in by any means. He doesn't have a switch in this Pokemon. Basically, if anything switches in on a Nature's Madness, it will get killed the next turn. Even the Magearna, even, pretty much, yeah, everything. We have HP Ice for the Garchomp, obviously Wild Charge, just to hit things, and the Brave Bird for the Mega Venusaur. Expert Belt, just make sure we hit strong enough. I am max speed to speed tie with the Aerodactyl, and max attack just to, blow things back. Nothing new here. Next up, we do have Crawdon. I have Choice Banded Crawdon. He's kind of my wall breaker of choice to break through things such as Mandibuzz, Mega Venusaur, Alomomola. He just busts through his team. His only really good switch into this is Alomomola, and it still takes a hefty chunk from knockoff. So Choice Band Adaptability, max attack, enough speed to outspeed something, maybe non-invested Mega Venusaur, maybe? That sounds about right. Actually, I don't think it has enough speed. Maybe. Whatever. And then some HP, max attack, Crab Hammer, Aqua Jet, knockoff, Crunch. Pretty standard Crunch. I have knockoff and Crunch so that I can hit the Mega Venusaur, which may come into play, because this is one of my really good ways of denting the Mega Venusaur. Next up, we do have some heat. I have Weakness Policy TOXAPEX. Ice Beam, Scald, Recover, Toxic. Max HP, 180 defense, bold, and 80 special attack. So what this thing can do, it can eat any hit from Garchomp and get my Weakness Policy and Oko with Ice Beam. I just wanted to bring some heat because I thought it would be pretty fun. Everyone always rails on TOXAPEX for being really passive, so I decided, why not? It'll be fun. So we'll see if that comes into play. It's a great lure for Garchomp because it can just blow that thing back. And then I guess it can kind of hit things like a Zelf, like Crustle, like it can't hit Mega Venusaur. Mega Venusaur can come in on this every time. We found that out in my UAPB week 1. It helps me out. It can switch into things like Arcanine. It can Toxic Alomomola. I didn't want Toxic Spikes this game because he does have a Mega Venusaur. And there was the only thing I really wanted to Toxic on his team was like Arcanine and Alomomola, because Mandibuzz isn't going to be affected by Toxic Spikes. So that's what this thing is. This thing is mostly my physical catch-all as well as doubles as a lure for Garchomp. And that's that. So next up we do have Nasty Plot, Psychium Z Mew. Nasty Plot, Psychic, Ice Beam, Earth Power. Enough speed to outspeed, I think, Arcanine, Max Speed Arcanine. Because he doesn't actually have any base, or I think it's Hitmonlee actually. Because, no, it's Arcanine. He doesn't have any base 100s that I need to speed tie with, so I can just go ahead and run a little bit of HP along with it. Nasty Plot, this team, it breaks through his walls. I can Nasty Plot on Mega Venusaur, I can Nasty Plot on Hitmonlee, on Alomomola, on Arcanine, on Mandibuzz, and just blow through his team. Obviously I have Earth Power for Magearna, Arcanine, I have Psychic for Mega Venusaur. I have Psychium Z just to blow through things, especially Mega Venusaur. If I don't get a chance to boost, Psychic won't kill, however Psychium Z will. So I have that just in case I need it in a tough situation. Also, it's just a good move to spam unless he switches into the Mandibuzz, but I do have Ice Beam for the Mandibuzz, so that's pretty good. And then Nasty Plot, so I can, because his team, if you notice, is quite slow. The only thing he has that outspeeds me is Aerodactyl, and Garchomp, and Raichu, and his elf. That's pretty much it. I don't think he's bringing Raichu. I don't think he's bringing Arcanine. So that leaves pretty much Aerodactyl and Garchomp. And I can eat any hit from both of those, so it's not that big of a deal. So that's the Mew set. Finally, we have mostly specially defensive Shaman. I made this, I had this game a while ago, so I don't remember what the EV spreads did. They did something specific, but it's mostly specially defensive to take on things like the Magearna, kind of a soft check to Magearna. It can probably 1v1 it with Synthesis. It can hit things, it can get special defense drops with Seed Flare, it can hit Mega Venusaur, it's good for Alomomola, it's good switching Raichu into Zelf. It's just my good special defensive catch-all. It does lose to things like Mega Venusaur and like Arcanine and kind of Magearna, but it's kind of what we have to do. I have enough special attack to do something with something. Maybe it's Magearna, I don't know. And then enough speed to outspeed something as well. I don't remember what it was. It's mostly bulky, mostly there to take on hits, so I don't have to sack them on every time something like his elf comes in. So, moving on to the battle. Alright. Let's go ahead. Okay, so this is the battle. As you can see, we have Chandelure, Tapu Koko, Crowdon, TOXAPEX, Mew, and Shaman. He brings Crustle, Magearna, Mega Venusaur, Mandibuzz, Azelf, and Garchomp. So a couple things. First off, there's no Arcanine, which is cool. No Aerodactyl, which I really like, because I didn't have a good switch into that thing outside of TOXAPEX, and TOXAPEX is already being asked to do a lot this game. No Alomomola, which I like. I understand why, but I still like that because Alomomola is a stupid piece of crap. No Raichu, which is cool because I also didn't have a great switch into that thing other than Shaman. And then no Hitmonlee. So that's pretty nice. Leading off here, I believe, let's see. Yeah, I just lead with the Shaman because I figure he's probably going to lead with either the Azelf or the Magearna, and so I lead off pretty well against both of those things. And if he led with Garchomp, that would have been fine too. So he's just going to go ahead and U-turn out, revealing he is just especially offensive, as Elf. Nothing surprise there. I go for a Seed Flare here, just, it's safe, as he goes into his Venusaur. So now he's able to mac up to Mega, and I can go into my Assault Vest Chandelure, and he's just going to Leech Seed and do a lot of damage. Now here, I'm like, okay, I can probably Psychic here, and he doesn't really have a good switch in other than Chandelure. But I'm actually going to double here into my Tapu Koko, thinking he was going to go into his Mandibuzz, because that's his best switch into this thing. So that's that. And he actually just goes for the Earthquake, which that was a poor play on my part, because Earthquake was really obvious, especially if I have a defensive. Like, he probably didn't even realize Chandelure got Psychic, and so he was like, oh, I can take anything. And so he's just going to go for Earthquake, which makes complete sense. So my Tapu Koko is really weakened for no reason now, and that was a poor play on my part. So I'm going to switch out into Mew, because I can take any hit, and probably the Sledge Bomb, and that's that. So now I obviously force him out. So I can just go for an Asplot, but he actually stays in and just goes for a Synthesis because he knows he can live any hit, and so now I'm a +2 Mew in front of him and he doesn't have a switch in. So what I can do, I can go ahead and click Psychic here. He goes into his Mandibuzz, but I do have Ice Beam for this thing, and it may not OHKO this thing, but it's going to do a lot. So I'm going to Ice Beam. Is he actually... Let's kick it! He goes into Garchomp. I actually watched his video. He thought I would only have Thunderbolt. He did not even consider us not having coverage to hit Alomomola. Sorry. He did not even consider not having coverage to hit Alomomola. He thought we would just have Thunderbolt, and so he was trying to switch in on that. So that's why we went for the Ice Beam. We take out the Garchomp, which is incredible. So now he can go into his Magearna. We're going to go ahead and go out into Chandelure, as that's kind of our switch in. As he actually goes for the Shadow Ball, which makes sense. He obviously would go for the super effective move. Better play maybe Magearna, or maybe Crawdon, I mean. But obviously Chandelure is going to take a lot from that, even though it's a Assault Vest. So I have to go... I'm going to go into my Shaman, because it is especially defensive, as he goes into the Mandibuzz. We get our leftovers back, which is really nice. Obviously I don't want to stay in and catch a Brave Bird from this thing. So I'm just going to switch out and go into my TOXAPEX as he goes ahead and U-turns, goes into his Elf, and I was like, okay, the Garchomp is dead, so the lure isn't going to happen with the Ice Beam weakness policy, so I'm like, I wanted to do something, so if he just stays in and Psychics me, I live, and I can fire off a +2 Scald. It won't do that much, but it's going to do something, so I was like, okay, I'll just stay in. As he actually just U-turns out, so that's pretty nice. So he goes into Garchomp. I actually watched his video. He thought I would only have Thunderbolt. He did not even consider us not having coverage to hit Alomomola. And then I'm like, okay, now he's obviously going to go for the Sludge Bomb, and so I can go into my Assault Vest Chandelure, because I want my Chandelure to do something, god damn it. So I go into my Assault Vest Chandelure, eat that, and considering he stayed in on me last time, I figure he's going to stay on me this time. And so I do go for the Psychic, and I'm able to heavily weaken this Mega Venusaur, which is very important, because the way to beat Mega Venusaur in my eyes is to never let it heal, get it low as it kills something, and then just never give it the opportunity to heal, and then you're able to beat it. So he's going to Earthquake, take me out. Rip Chandelure, you did a good job. Here I can go into Crawdon, because he is 100% in range of Crunch, or even Knockoff. So I was really, because he's actually almost in range of Crabhammer too, because Crawdon is a monster. So I was really debating going for Crabhammer there, but finally, oh crap, I accidentally, let's get back to where we were. Alright, Crawdon, no, there we go. So I was really debating, but I do end up going for a Crunch. Still does 35 because Crawdon is so dumb. And here he's obviously going to go for the Foul Play. So I'm just going to go into my Tapu Koko. As he actually just U-turns up. U-turns. And so he goes into his Elf. The fact that he goes right into this thing means this thing is probably Scarfed. Like, this thing is definitely Scarfed. So I'm going to go into my Shaman, because it is especially defensive. As he just Psychics, does 30, but with my leftovers, that's completely fine. Because I can just Synthesis up here. And as he goes into the Magearna. Well, I am a mostly specially defensive Shaman. Here is a Magearna. So we can probably, this is probably fine for us, because we do have Earth Power. So I'm going to Earth Power, we do outspeed, we do a lot to him. Considering we have minimal special attack investment, that's great. As he Shadow Balls, unfortunately, he does 17%, unfortunately gets a special defense drop, which kind of sucks, but oh well. So we get the special defense drop, as we're able to Earth Power once more. And he can't kill me, even with the special defense drop. Nothing he can do can kill me. So he is going to go for the Shift Gear, but I have no reason not to do anything but click Earth Power, as he is going to fire off the Z move, fire off Z all-out, or the all-out pumping Z fighting move. That's going to do 55 to my Shaman, because Shaman is a beast. That's at -1 Spadef. That probably would have done around like 35 normally. So unfortunately, Shaman would be at a higher health if I if this death trap didn't happen, but it's whatever. So here, I'm like, I have no reason not to go into TOXAPEX. Because he's probably just going to Shell Smash here, because that's what Crystal does. That set up hazards, like he does nothing else. So he does Shell Smash as you go into TOXAPEX. Nothing he can do can kill me. And if he Earthquakes me, I can get my weakness policy. And it is actually going to do something, and I'm so excited. So, here, he's going to go ahead and Earthquake my TOXAPEX. I live, get my weakness policy. Scald, take him down to Sturdy, but then get the burn. And then take out the Crustle, which is incredible, and I'm so happy about that. That's so great. So, we are able to take out the Crustle. What would have happened if I didn't get the burn? He would be able to kill my TOXAPEX, but then I go right back into my Crawdont, and nothing can switch in, and same thing would have happened, so oh well, it's fine. So here, what he can do, I'm just going to go ahead and get Regenerator back and go into my Mew, as he's going to set this up. I'm like, okay, perfect opportunity to go ahead and Nasty Claw it up. Here he goes into his Mandibuzz, but I have Ice Beam, and it actually doesn't even kill, which I'm actually really surprised. Mandibuzz is bulky, man. So, plus 2 Ice Beam only does like 69. But he can Foul Play, and that's not going to kill me. And so here I have no reason not to go for another Ice Beam, take out the Mandibuzz. So now here he can go into the Azelf, but I don't want this thing to die if I don't have to. I'm trying to preserve differential, because we are up 5-2 right now, which is pretty fantastic. And I'm going to go into my TOXAPEX as predicting the U-turn, and that's what he does. If he Psychics, it wasn't that big of a deal. And here I'm like, okay, you know, I'm just going to kind of fish for a burn. First I'm going to recover to get some health back so I can live a Psychic if I need to. And then I'm just going to, oh wait, I just fish for a freeze because I'm a scumbag. So yeah. And then I go into my Shaman as he Earthquakes, because I just want to get some Psychic damage off, because it's the only option I really have to do that. And so Shaman goes down. I can go back into my Mew now, get a free switch in. And here I figured he's going to go into his Azelf, so I click the Z move just to get the most amount of damage off on this thing, because I don't need it for anything else. Here I can go into Crawdon because I live a U-turn, and he can go into Mega Venusaur. He is in range of Crunch, so I can take him out. And finally, he goes back into his Azelf. All I need to do is get in Crawdon for free. So he's going to actually predict my TOXAPEX, go for the Thunderbolt and take it out, but I can go back into Crawdon, Aqua Jet, and take the win. So, Houston Regirockets 2-0 plus 6 at the moment. So that's pretty incredible. I'm super happy about that. Crawdon did great this game. Shaman, like right now it's kill death isn't great, but like I think it came in very clutch this game. It was eating hits for days. You see it destroy that Magearna? It was great. 55 from Z Magearna. It's crazy. Crawdon did amazing. Mew did great in forcing out the Venusaur. TOXAPEX getting that burn, getting the weakness policy kill. Woo, that was great. I definitely could have played better. I think this was not my best played game. We did walk away with the win because of our prep, but oh well. It's like I think I played better towards the latter half of the game rather than the before half, because I was just letting Chandelure get weakened, I was letting Tapu Koko get weakened. But I found my groove and was able to get back in there and get a 3-0 win, which I'm really happy with. GG Joltz, you played great. I'm a lot of respect for you as a battler. Magearna is so scary. Your team is terrifying to go up against. So for the MVP, I am going to say Crawdon, because he did get the most kills this game. He got 2 kills. And that's pretty much it, guys. So I guess I will see you guys later. Peace.